Hey Facebook, where's my Zen Heads at? You're listening to the Zenlarge Show, where I give you my tips and tricks about how to live the Zen life. I'm Zenlarge. Welcome. Today, I'm going to tell you about the problems with the healthcare system and how this relates to living the Zen life. So, if you've watched the last couple episodes of the Zenlarge Show, you know that every year I do a 7-day fast for cancer prevention. And there's all kinds of benefits to fasting and the like. And I started my fast last week, did 3 days, and ended up having to cancel the fast due to a social obligation that involved food. And so today I'm starting it back up again. So I'm right now about 24 hours on the nose fasted. So not too bad. First day is super easy for me. I'm really good at fasting, so take it for what it's worth. Other people would probably, if you've never tried anything like this before, you go 24 hours without food, you're probably not having a very good time. And day 2 is even worse than day 1 if you're not a veteran faster. But for me, I'm doing just fine. So the interesting thing is, I fasted for 3 days, 3 days and 3 hours, so 75 hours to be exact. But who's counting, right? And then I ate for 6 days. And now I'm going to go on a 7-day fast. So what that means is 7 days from now, over a 16-day span, I will have not had food for 10 days. So that'll be kind of interesting. I took measurements at the very beginning, and I took measurements again today, and I'll do them again at the end. It'll be interesting to see how much weight I lose and how my measurements are impacted and the like. I'm sure I will definitely drop a little excess fat. Not that that's why I'm doing the fast. I'm not doing it for that, but I always keep track of that stuff. So, but at any rate, that's where we're at. 1 day into the fast, 1 day down, 6 more to go. And this year will be done. So getting back to the point of the show today, the problem with the healthcare system. So the reason I thought of doing this show is people have asked me, Chris, where's the evidence that fasting is good for cancer prevention? And there's a fair amount of studies that have been done. The number of studies keeps growing, and you can Google it yourself and look it up. Read the studies for yourself and see what I'm talking about for cancer prevention and for cancer treatment especially. There's some really promising stuff. But considering how much money goes into cancer research, it's not that much research that's been done on fasting. And I'm, not that confident that there's going to be a ton of research for fasting as a treatment for cancer. And why is that? So let me ask you this question. So who makes money in the medical system? So in the medical system, you've got the doctors, they make some pretty good money. Insurance companies, they're making a killing. Medical insurance companies are making an absolute killing. Hey, Josh. The pharmaceutical companies, they're really killing it. Politicians are making a lot of money off the healthcare system. You say, ask Chris, how are they making money? They're getting donations, campaign donations from the lobbyists, right? So lobbyists from the insurance, the medical insurance industry, from lobbyists from big pharma especially. I mean, you should see the kind of millions of dollars that big pharma pays to these politicians. They pay politicians millions of dollars to pass laws that make the pharmaceutical companies, billions of dollars. So everybody's happy, right? The politicians are happy. They got millions of dollars in campaign donations. The pharmaceutical companies are happy. They got the law passed that makes them billions of dollars, only cost them a couple million, and so on. But so my question is this. If you stop eating, if you go on a fast, who makes money? The answer is nobody. Nobody makes money if you stop eating, right? So what is the motivation of people to pay for a study to see that if fasting is going to cure your cancer, if fasting is going to help you prevent you from cancer? What's the motivation? People aren't going to put out millions of dollars for this because they don't see a way to make money off it. Nobody makes money if you stop eating. You'll save some money. You'll save some money on grocery bills, save potentially a lot of money on medical bills if you fast, but nobody makes money off of it. And that's a big problem with the medical industry. and the healthcare system, they call it, right? This to me is a much bigger issue than the lack of universal healthcare. It's the healthcare industry. It's really, they call it a sick care industry. It's not about health. It's not about keeping you healthy. The money is not in keeping you healthy. The money is in treating you once you're sick. So that's what's all designed around. I mean, I'll give you an example of this. I went to see my doctor for an annual physical. And we were talking about something, and I don't remember what prompted it, but I was like, well, let me just tell you what my diet's like. And she stopped me. She's like, no, don't tell me. I was like, what? She's like, I don't need to know what your diet is. Don't tell me. I about fell over. I'm like, this is my doctor. I'm getting a physical, a health checkup. Eating what you put in your mouth is like one of the most important things, one of the most important decisions, one of the most important things that you have control over. You have absolute control over this. That impacts your health. And she didn't even want to know what I'm eating. That, it just blew me away. It's like, but that's, nutrition is all about keeping you healthy, right? It's not about treating sickness. Well, food can be used to treat sickness, and lack of food can be used to treat sickness, as in fasting. But generally speaking, though, that's, people think of drugs, they think of surgery. These are the kinds of things that make a lot of money for the healthcare industry. Not eating food. And, so what's the alternative? There's some interesting things that I've thought about. Like, what if you had a network of medical providers? So this would be like a hospital. It would include a hospital. It would include all the different specialists and some general practitioners and things like that. You subscribe to the service like you subscribe to medical insurance, right? But instead of giving your money to medical insurance, you subscribe to a service of medical providers, and they give you medical care. And they would be very incentivized to keep you healthy, because it's expensive to treat somebody that gets cancer. But if they can keep you from getting cancer by eating right and fasting occasionally, that saves them a lot of money that they would have to spend on treating you. They would much rather, in that scenario, they would much rather prevent you from getting illness than treat the illness. Then it actually makes it favorable. Then the money's in their favor, where they come out ahead if they can prevent disease, if they can prevent sickness. And of course, for you as the consumer of this service, it's tremendously better to prevent the illness, to prevent the sickness, than it is to treat the illness or sickness. Like, give me prevention over treatment any day, right? That's definitely the ideal scenario for us as customers. But how do you get to that, right? Like, okay, I got that idea. What am I going to go start that? I mean, how am I going to start that? I don't have the money to start something like that. And there's so much inertia and these other things that in legal blocks probably in place, because these companies, pharmaceutical companies, insurance companies have been lobbying the politicians for so many years. I don't know how you get there. It's a great idea, but I don't know how you get there, to be honest. So what do? Well, if you're somebody that's trying to live the Zen life, then your health is very important to you, because if you don't have your health, you don't have anything, right? And to have that clear mindset, I mean, your mind is a physical organ. So if your brain isn't working properly, you're going to have a hard time being focused, being clear, living in harmony, living in peace. I mean, if you've ever heard of cancer brain, chemo brain, I think they call it chemo brain. Anyways, like, Google that, like, people that get, like, their brain stops working correctly because of chemotherapy. It's just such a horrible treatment for you. But, that can definitely keep you from living the Zen life, from being able to focus, is inserting these poisons into you to treat a disease, right? So if you want to live the Zen life, if you want your health, you have to take responsibility for it and not rely completely on these doctors, because the doctors aren't there to keep you healthy. They're there to treat you after you get sick. So if you want to stay healthy, you've got to take responsibility for that. You've got to get out and read some books, listen to some podcasts, research it, because your doctors don't know. There are experts out there that can help you in this area. get you on the right path. I mean, my good buddy Kevin Geary with the Rebooted Body has an awesome nutritional and exercise program that will help. There's a lot of books I can recommend. You know, I really like The Primal Blueprint from Mark Sisson, which has a lot, again, nutritional, exercise, and lifestyle advice, you know, for living low stress life. Not, you know, there's several key components to health. It's not all nutrition, that's a big component, but it's not all that. There's sleep, there's stress management and whatnot. But you need to take responsibility for it, because your doctor's not looking out for you, unfortunately. And no one cares about your health more than you care about your health. So that's my advice for you. If, you know, it would be great if there was wise guides out there for us, experts that could handle these things for us and just solve these problems for us. Say, hey, here's what you should do if you want to take care of your health. Hey, here's what you want to do, what you should do if you want to prevent this illness, that illness. But there's really not. It's really up to you to do it. No, nobody is going to take care of you as good as you're going to take care of yourself. Nobody has your interest in mind as much as you do yourself. So that's my advice for you. I don't know if that's positive or not, but it's reality. You know, it's good advice. It's advice that can help you to have the best time you can on this planet. And I'll give you some tips and tricks here and there, like pointing out books, pointing out things that are working for me, stuff like fasting. But, you know, I'm one resource. There's many others. I'm not claiming to be the best resource by any means. So do your research. And like I said, I need to start offering some more books, book recommendations and podcast recommendations and things of that nature to help you get on the right track. See some of the people that have helped me to get on the right track, you know, so I can give them a recommendation. I can give them a thumbs up. So help you save a little time, right? If you can go to the people that I've found to be useful. All right, that's all I got for you today. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. If you could hit that share button, hit that like button. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe. I need you to come through for me on this one, Zenlarge Nation. The sharing is the biggest part, right? Sharing is caring. So if I want to be able to help as many people as possible, but I cannot do it without you. So, all right, take care of yourself. Peace.